Muslim slaves in America. The common stereotype that African slaves brought to the Americas were uneducated, illiterate savages that didn't have civilization. But education was very important in Muslim West Africa. Timbuktu and present-day Mali had libraries, schools, universities. From the 14th century, Timbuktu trained thousands of scholars. Kano, Nigeria had 3,000 teachers at the end of the 15th century. Senegal, there were schools in every city, and by the end of the 19th century, 60% of Senegal was literate in Arabic. During the transatlantic slave trade, the majority of Muslims from West Africa were literate and educated, including 20% of Muslim females. Enslaved Muslims from Africa were highly educated for their time, were bilingual, knowing their native language and Arabic. Many of them had studied and even memorized the Holy Quran. Here's just some of the most famous African Muslim slaves. There was Ayuba Suleiman Diallo, Yaro Mahmoud, Ibrahim Abdul Rahman ibn Sori, Omar ibn Sayed, and Sali Bilali. Let's talk about how African slaves were treated as a whole. They were beaten, they had no legal rights, they couldn't own property, were given minimal clothing, some had to wear no clothes to save their owner money. They couldn't marry outside their race, many didn't marry, or if they did, the slave owner would destroy the family by selling off the spouse, parent, or child. Some slave owners worked their slaves to death because it was cheaper to buy new ones. Their average life expectancy was only 15 years. Muslim slaves experienced all of that and more. Couldn't pray 5 times a day because of their rigorous work schedule. It was difficult to fast. They definitely couldn't go to pilgrimage to Mecca. They had no access to the Quran. They were given pork to eat because it was such a cheap meat. That's prohibited in Islam. They couldn't dress modestly because they were hardly given clothes in the first place. Hidden Muslims had to play dumb since literacy was illegal. They wrote in secret. Conversion to Christianity was required if a slave ever hoped to go free. They had to keep their faith a secret. Many Muslim slaves intermarried with American Indians. Parents had no time or resources to teach children Islam, so the Muslim slaves were unable to pass Islam to their descendants. Like and follow for more.